Welcome to today's pre-market analysis on the stock market here. And we got some interesting stuff going on. I'm going to start off with a recap. Chi Chang, good to see you. I'm going to start with a recap of what's going on in global indices. Then we're going to look at pre-market scanners on TradingView and Benzinga. So we're getting the start of some interesting price action here. And so I want to talk about that. I'm going to start off. Let's look at the gold markets. Then we're going to look at ES, what I think is happening right now. And then we're going to start looking at what day trading setups are available for today. So good to see you, Jeremy. All right. So first off, Asia right here, pretty much all in the red, except for Aussie, which is just eking out. It's about 8 points in the green right now, but it's under pressure. And you're seeing that pressure continue through Europe right now. Right now, only the FTSE's up by 30 points roughly, not much, but everything is under pressure and some decent size, 1.9%, 1.48%, 1.4%, 1.83%. So stocks are under pressure right now. Markets are under pressure. And you're seeing that already in ES. ES was up about 20 points, and now it's down 10. So here's what's going on in ES. And it did have a little bit of a bounce, but it's not holding VWAP, and it's pretty much below the overnight lows right now. So it's under pressure. And when you look at kind of what's happening in the weekly, we did run into some resistance here. And so I'm expecting that we're probably going to test the bottom of this structure right here. What's also interesting is that options were pretty cheap in terms of buying protection. In other words, buying puts. Puts were pretty cheap on SPY and SPX and everything like that. And that means that implied volatility was low. And a lot of traders weren't positioned for the market to sell off. And it's usually when traders are too comfortably positioned to one side that markets tend to have big sell-offs, because everybody's kind of stacked the deck on one side. And that creates a situation where, the leverage is increased. Everybody's kind of more levered to one side. And when just a little bit of a market sell-off can create a bigger market sell-off because they're not expecting that. Volatility hasn't been that high in the stock markets, right? In terms of at least the indices as of late. And so because of that, when you have any increase in volatility or implied volatility, then it forces traders to unwind positions very fast. And that just accelerates the volatility. So I'm definitely looking at buying some protection. I was looking at buying some protection overnight, but I wanted to see what happens. I want to see what happened with Asia and Europe, and Asia and Europe is not disappointed. So I might be buying some protection pretty soon, looking at some downside on this here. Anurag, good to see you as well. Morning to you. So that's kind of what I see going on right now. I think people are very, in kind of a complacent way, they've been very bullish. And I think that anytime you get super, super complacent and just expect everything to go up, then that's when things happen. So let's look at the pre-market scanners and let's see what we got right here. So let's refresh just to make sure. Okay, so we got 7 on the ticker right here, and then we'll check out Benzinga. So IMV Biotech up big in pre-market, over 100%. So what's pre-market volume on this one here? Pre-market volume is 7.73 million. It's top volume, and it's a stock in play for sure. Average volume on IMV is 190K. So this is up huge. Let's see if there's any news catalyst going on right now. And is that it? IMV, yes. No news. Okay. So no news catalyst on it right now. And so let's take a look at this right here. Where are we at? Let's draw pre-market highs 941. We're down that by a shade. Why did that not? Oh, it didn't sink because it's way above that. Alrighty then. So we're pre-market, we hit all-time highs. Okay. So let's start marking some supports. You got weekly support there. And you got weekly support 6.4. That's an interesting spike. So impulsive corrector structure right now, new all-time highs, roughly 946 or something like that. I wouldn't touch this until a pullback. And so I would consider potential pullback. I like the lower pullback towards 6.5 or 6.4. And I'd like it to stick, hold, and then potentially reclaim VWAP for retagging of 9, and then being a big round number, you'd want to watch for 10. But this is a stock in play right now, and I'm not sure what the news catalyst is or what's going on with that, but this is a stock in play. So I'm going to move this over to top on the watch list because we got the volume, we got the price action, and I like the way this looks so far. But it's all signs are bullish on this one here. Okay, moving on from IMV, BNRX, Volition RX Limited. What are you? Medical specialties. Okay, so you're in biotech is hot right now. Doubled pre-market, fading though. Let's see where pre-market highs are. So pre-market highs are way up there. Okay, this stock has a tendency to fade, as you can see. So it fades, it fades, it fades, it fades, it fades. So I'd like to see this. I'd like to see this. I'd like to see this get back up and then show signs of weakening in the price action, and then look to potentially sell this one here. Considering its tendency to fade, that doesn't mean that there isn't long opportunities on this one here, but considering its consistent tendency to sell off any sort of rips within a few weeks, it seems like to me the consistent play is to fade this one here. So I set an alarm up here. It'll watch it. If it gets up there, I'll watch the price action. I'll watch what's going on in time and sales. And if things look good, then I'll look to sell it. For now, I'm going to not put it on the chart list per se, but then I'm just going to let that play out. VXRT, this was a good trade from yesterday. We had a very nice trade on this one yesterday. We got in like 10.10 or something like that and closed at 12.15. So it's a very good trade. Pretty strong pre-market. I already have my levels picked on this one here. So let's go to 1 hour and expand this out. Weekly VWAP, anchored VWAP is trailing up. If it trails up to 1209, that could be a really good, and it pulls back to 1209, that could be a pretty good play. But there is resistance at 1209, which I think even goes back on weekly charts. Yeah. So we got spike high here, and we could probably even extend this up a little bit. 1239. Yeah. Because you got this base over here. They had a positive news catalyst. Potential COVID vaccine that's being evaluated right now. So, of course, that's going to attract a lot of attention. And so I'm going to watch for pullbacks to 1236 and weekly VWAP, and then look to get long or look for it to recover. But as you can see, it held VWAP pretty good yesterday. It just kept pulling back. So we were long at, what was it, 1010, which was break of this breakout structure here. Went to VWAP, bounced, went to VWAP, bounced, and ripped middle of the day. Late day rip. Quite a late day rip. And so I'm glad we kind of, stayed patient with this one here because it definitely paid itself off. Almost went to VWAP again and then a sense climb. So watch for 1236. That's a decent area for potential longs. And your ITD highs are 14. Let's see what that looks like on weekly. Yeah, 14 is a good base. Not surprising. There's some profit taking here. Not surprising because so here's 14. You got this whole base of this structure here. A little bit chop, but yeah, you got a base of that structure there. If it gets above that, it has room for 16, which is these two spikes here, and then even potentially, yeah, 1868. So this has potential to definitely rip. 2091 would be awesome. So I'm going to put VXRT on the list. XRT. It's looking good. INMB. Try and say that 10 times fast. 887 up to 22. So over 100% pre-market. Immune Bio. Is there any cancer Alzheimer's? Okay, let's see if it INMB. Any news? Doesn't look like anything specific. INMB, no. No. Okay, so nothing specific, no news catalyst. I'm curious about that. What's pre-market volume? 2.25 million and average daily volume is 330K. So it's clearly in play. But it's faded a lot of this. So here's your kind of pre-market support, 1288, which is way above here. And so we are at all-time highs right now. You got a wide range right here to play with. And this is where it ramped really high from 12 to 20. That's huge. So yeah, watch for pullbacks to here. This is too wide a range to trade any breakouts inside of that. It just doesn't seem like the play. So this is a wait on pullbacks. I rejected this week. Yeah, it's got some pretty good support here. So yeah, watch for 1288. I've set an alarm there, and I'll put one just above it, just in case it does break out. I wouldn't trade a pure breakout though, unless the structure really builds. Okay, WKHS. I hate this stock, so I don't like the spreads on it. I don't like the price action on it. I'm just gonna pass. It's two that I just don't like: WKHS and SHLL. How did this make it on the list? SPAQ. It had a good pre-market rip, but this looks like it's fading. Yeah, this looks like it's fading. Yeah. Yeah, ideal would be watch for pullback, 1621. But it looks like it's fading all of this rip. Yeah, a lot of downside in this one here. So I'm gonna watch for potential break lower and look to potentially fade. Maybe it's an option play on that one. PRCP, perception. What are you? Electronic components. Actually, automated industrial metrology products. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Any news on you? PRCP. Let's see what you got. Receives new order. Okay, we got a positive to support upcoming electric vehicle launch. This is the hot stuff right now. Jeem, good to see you. Yeah, EVs. Everybody's a lot of Robinhood day traders and things like that. They just love their EVs right now. They like getting in EV technology, which I think is cool. There's a certain interest in that. Provider of 3D automated inline measurement solutions, according to Measurement Machines, today announced that a global tier 1 automotive supplier selected Perception's inline measurement technology. So they want to use their tech to help them build EVs to measure the battery frame compartment and lid for upcoming new. Okay. So positive news catalyst. What's pre-market volume? Pre-market volume is low. It's on the low end, 714K. Although normal daily volume is 26K. So for this stock, that's a lot. And 3 all the way up to 772. It doubled and it's already fading. That's fast. So 772, it's actually a decent resistance level. I think if it gets past that, whoa, that was not where I wanted it. I think if it gets past that, you'll run into some resistance at 885. Where are we now? 537. Yeah, that's tough because it only held it for 2 candles and it's already fading fast. So where is a decent base of support? 431. I'll show you why. You got this base here, this base here, this base here. So I'm going to watch for pullbacks towards 431. I'd like to see more volume though. It's still under 1 million, so it's not a huge ripper, but in terms of relative volume, it's high. So, okay, so let's see what's going on with Benzinga. And I clear the alerts. Okay, so IMV is top at 9.1 already. That's the top volume mover. Let's see some of the low volume at SQBG. No, you're penny stock. Too small. Reeds. Penny stock. Moving on. WKHS. I don't like you. Another penny stock. So lots of penny stocks. Naked. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good name. Naked Brand Group. What the heck are you? Anyways, you're a penny stock. Ecor. This was something that was hot yesterday, but it didn't hold most of its gains, as you can see. Back down. So Ecor is going to need to get above 223. I don't trade stocks. I dabbled in one yesterday, but I just don't like trading stocks below $3 because you don't have the liquidity. It's harder to get in and out. It's harder to get fills. Spreads tend to be not so great. So I'm going to pass on this one here, even though there might be some there. Viver, you are also lots of penny. So nothing in the, very few in the mid cap range. Very few. Okay, so this is one INMB. So that's 2.9 million. T2, what are you? Okay, you're in the penny stock. That's why you didn't show up. Lots of penny stocks. Man, if you're a penny stock trader, you got plenty of rips. VXRT. Okay, so VXRT is still a contender. VNRX, we went over this one. Icon, this one didn't show up. That's penny stock. That's why. Boxlight, also penny stock. Man. All right, students, you penny stock traders are gonna love today. So you're gonna have some rippers. RIGL. Okay, RIGL. Let's see what's going on here. This one has shown up lately. A lot of pre-market. Let's see, what's more pre-market highs. 350. This price section's good. It's building. 350. Okay, so you're probably running resistance at 4. This is more in the penny stock category. You're gonna run into resistance. You got a few above, but then it could rip. It's biotech, okay. Operates clone stage biotech company, discovers develop novel target drugs, therapeutic immunology, which is very important right now. Immune system. That's part of the thing with COVID is it attacks the immune system very intensely. Let's see if there's any positive news. Nope. No news catalyst. So I don't have a news catalyst. You're definitely going to run into some resistance on this one here. You got 3.5, which is pre-market highs, I think. Then you got 420. Not intentional, but hey, if it works out that way. 454 and 520. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I say 520 or 420, or am I that old? Please tell me I'm not that old. Please tell me some people in this webinar actually understand what I'm saying. Yeah, you're going to get some thick resistance between 455 and 521, but you still got plenty to work with right now. Price action is building very nice. It seems like weekly VWAP is a better way to potentially play this and pullbacks. So watch for pullback, and that comes in around 2.4, which is right around the base of the intraday pre-market highs. And yeah, so 246 isn't bad. That's not bad because you had yesterday's highs just below pre-market highs from yesterday. Good base of support today. So yeah, I like this kind of 246 area for you penny stock traders if you want to get long on this. Nobody commented on the 420, so okay, clearly I'm old. Yeah, okay. So watch for pullbacks on this one here. Then you got some decent upside because that gives you at least about $1 upside. But clearly, yeah, and it's still pushing. So that's not bad. REGL is not bad. Okay, so let's see what's going on with some other stocks that we've been actively trading. DKNG is still falling, like we suspected. It's just not getting off the mat. It had a little bit of a reprieve at 30. Some buyers came in, but then it couldn't make it past this corrective structure highs. We talked about that. So when it rejected just a very tight corrective structure at the bottom, that means bearish pressure. The bulls aren't able to lift. So it hits 30, which is basically, it just goes past that, finds some dip buyers, and it couldn't even make it back to 35 and then sold off aggressively. Impulsive corrective structure. It's still bearish. This thing's still got more downside to go. So clearly there is an appetite. People still want to buy DraftKings. They're medium long-term bullish on it, and there may be value hunting, but yeah, I think this thing is going down lower. I think you're going to see 27.52 potentially, and maybe even it might even get down to 22. That is certainly a possibility before it finds some sort of deep support. So take short bias, or my opinion on this is short bias right now. And so I still don't see anything in the price action that's bouncing. Let's look at GDX. Gold's it's minor stock, so it's sold off again from 39. You're seeing a lot. You're seeing profit taking across gold stocks right now. You're seeing that a lot. You're seeing that GDX, GLD, XAU, USD. I think maybe it's still. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, yeah. So because you're really close to really big highs. We suspected that there would be some profit taking around 800. We talked about that. So you got more upside, but you got a little bit of upside and you got a lot of potential downside. So I'm not surprised if there's some profit taking. This is a corrective structure pullback, so it's still bullish. It's going to want to find support and before it launches higher, but so that's why GDX and IAG and other stock were long is under pressure. IAG is getting towards support right now. Yeah, 416, 407, decent support. So back to GDX. GDX is losing some of its base right here. And this prior highs is not holding that. So if it fails that, then it's probably going to start reaching for support way down here. So watch for that one there. We're wondering about yesterday's correlation between GDX and SPX. I don't know your opinion on that. Correlation does not equal causation. Okay, so it's correlated for a day. Generally gold and SPX are not correlated. They're generally opposite. So I wouldn't think too much of it. I would just look at it more of like GDX is running into resistance and it's happening at a time where SPX is selling off. SPY is selling off. So SPX, Jimmy, we already did some analysis on this. It's pretty straightforward. We opened with this. So you're running into resistance here on a corrective structure. You can see that very clearly. So you're inside that. So I suspect that it's going to want to fade some of this. Protection is looking, as we were saying earlier, protection is looking really cheap. And with protection, how are we doing on time? 2 minutes of market open. Protection is looking really cheap. That means people are complacent and expecting just all upside. So, that's generally a time when you see big sell-offs is when people are super complacent on one side of the market or the other. So I'm watching for protection on that. Ready? No problem. Good to see you. It's good to have you. So yeah, I think you're probably going to play inside this. You do have some support here at 3022, but this is a base of 3000, so it's a really nice base. So I'm expecting more downside in this before it starts to bounce. Also, one thing I like to note is that the Fed had tapered their purchases of stocks and bonds come beginning of June. And as soon as that happened, the market started to consolidate. I don't think that's a coincidence. The Fed was just massive buying spree in June. Oh, we're going to start tapering. And then the market goes sideways. So that to me is not coincidence. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this unwind. And the thing about it is that I think if this were to unwind to 3,000, I think some people would be panicking. I think there's a lot of people that are long right now. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are long right now. So yeah, I sense caution. It's market's open, so we'll get going in just a second. But yeah, I sense caution right now because people aren't really positioned for a big sell-off. Even 200 points in the SPX, people don't seem to be positioned well for that right now. So that's what I'm seeing right now. Indices all look under pressure today, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're gonna have to be smart with your stock picks. Take the strongest ones because the whole markets are all under pressure right now. So be cautious with that. Remember to get protection when it's cheap. If you can, you always want to get protection when it's cheap because if it's expensive, then you pay more for the same protection. So yeah, hopefully that's your question. Okay. That's pretty much it for today. So I'm going to switch over to the members live trade room and we're going to start sharing our live trades in real time. If you'd like to become a member, check us out at secondskiesforex.com. Other than that, good luck trading, everybody. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Take care, everyone.